Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elena. In case you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. So today I brought to you guys my August wrap-up. I have read 5 books in the month of August, so I'm extremely proud of myself because I think that's the most I have ever read in a month. So I'm extremely happy about that because, you know, I was on a roll in August. But anyway, I'm hoping to have read the same amount, if not more, in September. So I'm going to try to quickly get through all these books since there's so many. I don't want this video to be super long. If it's really short, then I'll show you my September TBR. If not, I'll probably just record that one separate anyway, just so I can talk about my TBR longer. So anyway, I don't know where I put my phone because I want to tell you guys like what I rated these books as well. For all of these books, you can go on my Goodreads and you can see what I actually did rate them in case you're curious to see what I have said about them. So let me go. Sorry, I probably should have been prepared. Okay, so the first book that I read in August was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This book took me like a couple months to finish though because it was really hard to get into. This is the first book in its series / chronicles or whatever it's called, so there is that world and character building involved in this book, so that's gotta be why it was just really hard for me to get into, and it was also, I heard, really difficult for most people to get into. So I wasn't the only one that felt this way about this book. Overall, Cassandra Clare's writing style is really great. She explains things so vividly that you feel like you're in that world yourself, so I thought that that was amazing. I heard that as the books go on, the world and character building is not too much, so it's easier to read and more interesting. So through like midway of this book is where all of the action started picking up, so it was really fast once I got, you know, in the middle of the book. So if you think about reading this book or you want to read it, just keep in mind that it gets better. Next book that I read was When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. This is his memoir. He explains about him being a surgeon, basically his point of view of being a surgeon, becoming a surgeon, and then being a patient, and what he went through as a patient. So this was really good. The writing style was great for him, you know, being a neurosurgeon. He also wanted to be a writer, so his writing style was great. There aren't any chapters, so it just keeps going on and on. His wife wrote the epilogue, so it was really like touchy. I mean, this book made me teary-eyed. I've never cried reading a book, but I got pretty close when I read this book. So if you like memoirs, I would recommend this book. Just keep in mind there's a lot of medical terminology and lingo used in this book, so you might get stuck if you don't, you know anything about the medical field or whatnot. Okay. Next book that I read, it was Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. This book was like, I don't even know how many pages it was, but I finished it in one sitting. Sorry. So it was really good. It's about this boy. His father passes away mysteriously, and he feels like he keeps seeing him, and then he has to protect his family somehow. I don't really know how to explain it, and I don't want to give away anything of this book, so in case you're interested in this book, you should look for it. This was a signed copy. It came in my Nocturnal Reader's box, so that's why it's in this paper. I'm not going to take it out of here. But yes, it was a really good book. I think this is, I don't know if it's considered a thriller or a horror book, but it was more like thriller, I guess, kinda. It wasn't really scary at all, so I don't really know what to say about that. I believe I rated it 5 stars. Yes, I rated this book 5 stars. If you want to check that out, my Goodreads is linked on my channel. And I think Paul Kalanithi I rated 5 stars, and City of Bones I rated 4 stars, just because it was really slow to the start. Next book that I read in August was Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips. This book I rated 3 stars, so I will tell you why. So let me just tell you what it's about. So a mother and her 4-year-old son are at the zoo, and they're just soaking up the last moments of the zoo before the zoo closes, and then the mother is like, okay, we gotta go because the zoo's closing, blah blah blah. So they're basically like running towards the entrance because they don't want to get stuck in the zoo. And then she sees something at the entrance that causes her to start sprinting back into the zoo. And then throughout the whole book, she is running with her son on her hip and hiding and all of this stuff. So throughout this whole book, my anxiety was like running through the roofs. I really enjoyed it. I read half of it in one sitting, and then unfortunately I fell into a reading slump, so I didn't finish this book like I thought I was gonna finish it in like 2 days, but I ended up starting it on the 7th and didn't finish it until the 20th of August. But this book could have gotten finished in like a day or two because I read half of it in a day. But it was really good. I would recommend it. The only thing I had a problem with this book, because I rated it 3 stars, is because there were like 2 to 3 pages throughout the book that were irrelevant to the story itself, and I think that that was just Jen Phillips's way of developing the character as the mother, because it would explain her like past and her growing up and stuff, and I felt like that was irrelevant to the story because I just wanted to know like what is she running from and where is this that she's running from, trying to say how I felt without giving away what it was. But this book was really good. I got it in my book of the month for, I think it was August, yeah. And yeah, it was really good, so I'd recommend it. I think people would like it. I think it's considered a thriller. Okay, and then last but not least, my most anticipated read since this came out and I finally got my hands on it and finished it, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. There is a lot of hype surrounding this book, and I'm telling you right now, it definitely deserves every single ounce of hype that it has. I rated this book 5 stars. It has a 4.62 rating, so it has a really good rating. I rated it 5 stars because it was just really good. I'll just read what I wrote on Goodreads because I put it really simple. This book was just simply amazing and well written. It gave me all of the feels. I was angry along with the characters, angry at some of the characters, upset and happy. I have laughed. I have teared up to the point of almost crying. This book is just one of those books that gives you all of the emotions, and it's simply amazing. And like I said before, I can't really say it enough. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. It was really good, and the only thing that I didn't enjoy about this book was the like when they were playing basketball, because it's like 1 or 2 pages of them playing basketball, and it's just like I want the story to pick up and keep going. Like I don't really care about basketball, but that was the only thing. It's not even a big deal. And then, you know, they're all teenagers, so there's that teenager attitude that frustrates, you know, adults. So when I read that, it was like so aggravating, because it's like, why are you talking to your mom like that? Why are you rolling your eyes? Like, relax. So this surrounds a girl named Star, and she's 16, I believe, and she witnesses her best friend being killed by a police officer. So this is inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. So it was just really good. I read it, I started on August 21st, and I technically finished it on September 1st, but it was at 12 a.m., so I'm still counting it as my August because I got distracted when I was reading it on the 31st, and then time just was flying by, and it was the 1st as soon as I finished it, and I was so aggravated because I was like, dang it, I wanted to finish this in August, so technically September because it was 12 a.m., but it's on my August wrap up because I finished it. I was reading it when we were still in August. Anyways, enough of my babbling. So that was my wrap up for August. I'm just gonna go ahead and record another video for my TBR because this video is already gonna be 10 minutes long. But I do appreciate you watching my video and sticking around to the end. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, let me know. I want to know what you thought about them or what you rated them. If you're interested in any of these books, let me know, because then, you know, maybe I can do like a full review for just that book, or I can do a book talk about it if you're interested in knowing my like full and complete thoughts. But anyways, I love you so much and thank you for staying subscribed to me. You have a wonderful night. Bye.